I didn't know Evan didn't know who was coming on.
Yeah, no, I surprised all these fools.
Finally got to meet his boo.
Yeah. Wait, okay, what were you saying about someone stole your profile, Carter? Like you see on TikTok?
It was just like I got put on a TikTok from during one of my classes, like when we came back from for quarantine. So during spring break, I came back and I like got a message from my friends at like 2 a.m. He's like, "Oh, this girl like had like a TikTok about you," and it was like of me in class, and it was just like super random. It wasn't anything weird. It was just funny.
So they didn't like Google search you, find your Facebook profile, screenshot.
She just thought he was super cute.
No, that's not true.
Dude, there's a lot.
She mentioned something about not liking Zoom classes.
There's some videos of you cycling around that like a lot of people that don't know you are like, dude, he's so hot.
That's not.
Yeah.
No, that's not true.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him.
That's not true.
Okay. You want to know?
He
how
keeps it hot in here, so he's just like getting interrogated.
Dude, why am I being?
Like,
it hasn't even been like 3 minutes. This wasn't part of the talk.
we've been preparing like mentally for like to not let anything slip.
Okay. Yeah. No. We can
No.
put up whatever
No,
you
no.
guys want, but
No, we keep it raw.
Because
Keep it raw.
because it looks bad. No, it looks like I'm like trying to flex and be like, yeah, like I had some girl make a TikTok.
You're the last person to flex
you
about
are
that.
literally the last person to flex.
Which is exactly why we shouldn't have it.
No, you are. Dude,
I'll talk about the girl that my Hinge account.
There are
Yeah.
girls in Santa Cruz that saw my story of you on my story that Hunter showed them, and they were like, "Oh my God, who's that guy? Is so hot."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Flattered.
that happens.
Oh, the
That
only
happens.
reason why I know that some girls thought I was cute was because Hunter called me randomly out of the blue during school, like on a weekday at like 6 p.m. I was just about to go to the library and study, and he's like, "Hey, like, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm about to go to the library." He's like, "Yeah, I'm like on the phone with like a few girls in my room. Like, they just want to say hi." And they had me like freestyle. They had like asked a bunch of questions about me.
It was those girls. Like, dude, you have a following and you don't even know it.
He's a freestyle rapper.
I'm not a
Underground.
No. Don't even. It's nowhere.
I'm playing.
Dude,
Why would you put it on blast?
I know. I was
some like
just
weird
coming
ass
up.
questions.
Okay.
I feel like
we'll
no, they're
take it off
coming.
you.
They're
We'll
coming.
take it off
Don't
you.
do
We'll
that.
take-
They're
we'll take
coming,
all the
dude.
heat off
Seth
you. We'll go
asked
from-
me to join him, and
We'll
then
go-
now
This
it's
is
like,
why.
This isn't
You
my-
get on blast.
This isn't supposed to be my podcast. This is yours.
It's
Dude,
ours now. It's
yours
ours.
both now.
Yeah, he wanted you here more than me.
Dude, right when, I heard Carter's voice in the background when I was taking a shit, and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Dude, I haven't seen, okay, shout out to the fuck up, you guys, audience. I've not seen these people in like 10 plus months to like literally a year and a half.
Yeah.
Like, it's been, thank you guys for coming out here. For real. I appreciate
Anytime,
it.
bro.
Yeah,
Miss
no. Dude, start us off with where you guys from, where you guys just went to school. Did you graduate, etc.?
Yeah, take it away, Seth. Since you're so
yeah.
talkative.
You're an OG local.
My family is. Wait, my name or just where I'm from?
Yeah, dude.
Seth Wilkie. I'm from Morro Bay, California.
Yo.
5th generation. Great grandfather built the smokestacks and the break walls. That's what you're talking
That's
about.
all you got.
That's it. That's life.
That's the cool thing you
It's
got.
my claim to fame. No, I went to school in San Diego, Point Loma. I just graduated. Summertime graduation.
Fuck, bro.
Still haven't got my diploma. It should be in the mail somewhere, but technically I graduated.
You can get like an email for like
What
a little.
degree?
I've gotten a bunch of emails. Biology, so BS in biology.
So you got a bachelor's in
Bachelor of
science in
Yeah,
biology.
biology.
Dude, I bet you that was really difficult.
Dude, it kicked my butt sometimes for sure. Yeah, I did biochemistry for 3 years and that was just too much. I surrendered it. I was like, no, it's just biology. So I went
Are you
to
trying
biology.
to
It
be
was a lot of fun. Maybe in the future, but not right now. Yeah, that when my entering college, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do 4 years and then I'm gonna go straight to med school. And I was like, and then
Dude,
I got hit
that's-
with reality, and I was like, that's not happening.
So, if you're trying to do other things besides that,
Yeah.
you shouldn't do it. But like if that's literally like that's what you want to focus on for the next like plus decade,
Yeah.
do it.
Oh yeah, if you're super driven still, which
But
like
you're obviously like you definitely have came back on holidays and like were like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like you put time for other shit, which there isn't a problem in.
Yeah, I realized that about myself in college compared to a lot of other students. I tried to, that sounds bad, not like have a life outside of college, but like continue doing other things, continue like learning things in life outside of just book work.
Okay.
And I think that made it so like, I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't have like super competitive GPA compared to some kids, but they spent their life in a book. And
Are you serious?
I mean, I feel like I had a little bit more fun than the average person. Just like, not like I went out partying, but I feel like I did a lot.
What was Point Loma like?
It was beautiful. It's a very pretty
Really?
school. Right on the beach. Yeah, I mean, I got to live, I was super lucky. I lived in a dorm that was like on the cliff. And you would walk like 200 feet to the water and surf.
Damn.
So it was beautiful, very nice. People are super awesome. Very small community. Yeah, it was pretty mellow. It wasn't like a party school or anything like that. It was just, yeah.
You made like a brand new group of friends and like you guys had like your own social like group. It looked like you guys were
Kinda.
busy doing shit, spike ball, volleyball, beach
Yeah,
and
yeah.
surfing. Like,
No,
you
definitely.
were-
I feel like, yeah. I mean, I have some like close friends that I got out of college for sure, where I'm like, I feel like really close to those guys. But I also, I mean, just college, you make so many friends that you just kind of like, I don't know. You kind of like, especially freshman year, you're kind of just like friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Like you're all like pretending to be friends at least.
Yeah, okay.
Usually
It's not
narrow
like
it-
you're actually friends, but you
Yeah.
just kind of like force it and
You'll,
stuff.
you'll narrow it down usually around like sophomore, junior year, and then
Yeah.
senior year you'll like meet a few people where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish I would have known you earlier. But everyone kind of follows like
You won't-
they're like kind of
yeah.
bandwagoning whatever
Totally.
like big groups are doing because you don't want to get like
Yeah.
singled out or look
Yeah.
like not. You just don't want to get left out because if you get left out freshman year, I feel like it was like
Yeah, you feel like
it's
you're
hard
left
to make.
behind.
and you don't know who like
But
you're just trying to be friends with everyone because you don't know who like you'll be closer
Yeah.
with in the future or later in the years.
But yeah, it was interesting, like friend group wise. I feel like I not like went through friend groups, but there were definitely like groups of people where I like wanted to be their friend, became their friend. And I was kind of like, it is just different, different than what I thought it would be.
You even got a girlfriend.
I did, my first girlfriend ever.
How did
Only
that go?
girlfriend. It was good. It was a big learning experience.
Are you serious?
Yeah, well, I had never had a girlfriend before, and it was really cool. I mean, really great girl. It was fun. Like we were best friends, so that was cool.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. There were a lot of really good things that I could take out of it that like I would want in a future relationship for sure, and then there were things that were not that way. I don't know. I mean, yeah, we only dated for like 6 or 7 months, I think, but we were like a thing for like 2 years. It
So
was
you guys,
long.
like, was the 6-7 months included in that 2 years, or was it the 2 years?
Yeah,
plus?
no, it was a few months before, and then we dated for 6 months, and then we weren't dating technically, but we were still kind of together for like a year and a half, a little less.
Did you, across your mind, did you ever think, like, I'm gonna marry this girl?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, well,
You're
she was like that kind of quality. I feel like I probably would have. I mean, I feel like every boyfriend girlfriend like talks about that, but like there's a lot of good qualities about her. It's like I thought I would have. I think if her parents liked me more, I would have.
Your parents didn't like you?
No.
Why?
Don't look at me.
Just digging myself in the hole. No, I don't know. Just
Can we dive deep on this relationship, or do you want me to ask?
yeah,
this
you
question?
can. Yeah, it's fine. I
Okay.
don't mind. I'm pretty open about it.
Why'd you guys break up?
I like it hammered down.
Yeah, no, we can go into
Hey,
it.
you
yeah.
get prepared too.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
I think you got put on the spot.
Okay, that was not the spot.
Yeah,
but
not yet.
I'll take it super easy on you.
You can ease into it. Actually, I'm warmed up. But
Yeah,
anyways.
no. Wait, which you asked me 2 questions. Why
her
they
parents
didn't like
you?
me, and then why we broke up.
Yeah.
Let's say I think a big thing. Well, I guess when we broke up, there are a few things that I'm trying to think back now. Like, I think sometimes not having the best like boundaries. I guess that's kind of what it comes down to. But boundaries in different areas, like that was kind of that time. There's like this friend group I wasn't super into hanging around, and like that was kind of, we had like mutual friends through them, so like we would hang out with them every once in a while, but really we just hung out with each other all the time. It was kind of like not having other friends, and that's not really healthy. Like you want a good balance between like having your friends and having friends together and having each other, and we didn't really have that. And that was just hard to change because honestly we were such good friends. I just liked hanging out there so much. Like I liked talking to her all the time and hanging out with her all the time. Like she's a really cool girl. But looking back, like we should have had more like better like time apart and just like
you guys
having that
too
trust.
much time together.
Yeah, a little bit, just like not being able to like separate that much because we liked hanging out together, and then just like physical boundaries too. Yeah.
For sure.
That's pretty much, those are the two like main reasons we broke up.
Okay.
And yeah, and her parents didn't really like me. Probably more reasons than like I know of, so I'm ones that I probably don't know of. But I know it seemed like whenever they got like news, because I met them a couple times, but they live in Colorado, so like I didn't really.
Did you go to?
They didn't know me that well. Yeah, I went to Colorado and stayed with them for a while and stuff.
How many times did you go to Colorado?
Just once.
Okay.
But
was it sick?
It was really beautiful. Yeah, I had a good time hanging out with them, their family and stuff.
What part do they live in?
The Colorado Springs, right near the Air Force Academy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like down the street from it. It was cool.
Damn.
Yeah. I just felt like whenever I guess they got like news about me, I feel like it wasn't always like great news. She was very close with her parents, which is really cool. But it's like, so whenever she had like a problem or just like a problem between her and I, like they were trying to work through, I feel like that's all they kind of knew about were the problems.
Weren't you also like, wasn't there like a guy she just dated not too long ago that was like
kind of, yeah, they
family?
definitely liked her ex before me. So it's kind of, that's happened twice where they like, the family really liked the ex and then I come into the picture like a few months later and they're like, what the heck? So that could be part of it too. Yeah.
They see this like bad boy Seth Wilkie come on.
Compared to her ex, I guess, yeah.
Well, I feel like there's
I don't think I'm that bad, but
I feel like there's nothing they could like you say like this news and shit, but like in my reality at least, like it's not like you're this bad guy.
Oh, thanks.
As of like lately.
As of lately. How long has it been? 10 months?
No. I'm saying like the last
after high school you're talking about?
I'm saying like the last 4 years you seem like a really like well-rounded, like student-driven like body.
He's gotten bigger. Have you seen it?
Yeah, you guys.
Have you seen?
Look at this shirt, bro. This is an XL.
He's wearing a steel shirt. Just remember that. If you look at pictures of Seth, senior year of high school, he's like flexing with like Orion, Evan, someone else. It's
sad.
funny. No, it's not sad. It's impressive.
I don't mind it. I don't mind looking back now,
like,
but I was like
100 pounds more. You weigh more than like, not more.
No,
you weigh like a shit ton more than you did.
I doubled my weight from sophomore year at one point. Like doubled it.
Yeah, that was wild.
Luckily, I'm not.
Well, that's like a lot of people who haven't seen Seth in a while. Like, oh shit, he's actually grown.
Well, that makes me think of like my like not a favorite story, but not even close to a favorite story. Just a story. Alexander
McKee.
Yeah, somehow. And this was recent. This was within like a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but something about you got brought up, or like. It might have something with you and then like Alex, and I was like, oh, like have you seen Seth lately? And he said something, and then and I was like, have you seen what he looks like lately? Because I think what happened is he was like, oh, I haven't seen Seth in like 3 years or some shit. Yeah. And then I'm like, dude, like he's bigger than you now. Like he's literally like 6 foot, 6'1", like.
I wish.
Full grown ass man.
No, like he literally has like barrel jugs like on his fucking arms, bro. And his chest is like a fucking like tank armor. And then Alex is like, no, dude, like Seth, last time I saw him, he was 5'4", 98 pounds.
Yeah,
like, no, Seth would literally put you in a headlock and go like that to you. And then Alex is like, no way, like I don't believe you. And I was like, dude, go see Seth Wilkie right now.
That's funny.
And the thing, and Carter, you came on here looking fucking swole.
Yeah, look at this juicy man. You should see his forearms, bro. These things are veiny as all get out. It's ridiculous.
Seth says all this stuff, but if you were to go and like go to the gym and see Seth, you'd be in awe.
No,
It's a sight to see.
Just be sitting on my phone in a hoodie. Just
I
in the
don't even
corner.
go to the gym.
I want to look like
That's
you guys
not
one
true.
day.
Oh my gosh.
Lazy, you already
Lazy,
did.
yeah. You've always been bigger than me.
No, not right now. I'm like so malnourished, bro.
You'll
Really?
always,
You
you'll
still
always
eat?
be
I'm
bigger.
super
You'll be bigger than me.
You'll always be taller than me.
You'll be bigger than me.
You guys are.
Yeah, in that sense.
Dude,
Not hard to be much bigger than me, but it's fine.
Where did you go to school?
Yeah,
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like not a lot of people know where I went to school. I did a pretty good job of keeping it low
Oh, yeah,
key.
everyone's like, what happened
Well,
to
I know-
Carter? He just kind of.
I'll do the quick little thing. Hi, my name's Carter Pope. I was born in King City, Salinas Valley, so about like a 45 to like a 50-minute drive north of Paso Robles, and then went to school at University of San Francisco, majored in biology, and yeah, that's about it. What else did you say? I mean, my grandparents didn't build the smokestacks or anything like that. They were farmers though. So that's pretty kind of cool. Counts for something.
But Dad's a farmer, beast farmer.
Liz, do you have any questions for me about my childhood or any school-related questions?
I remember you've been a very consistent person in terms of personality, which I think is a really good thing.
Since you've met me,
Since I've met you, you pretty much have been the same person.
Yeah.
is that
Like,
good or bad?
No, it's super
No,
cool.
if anything's
That's-
changed, it's only positive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like you've always been chill, you've always been super friendly with everybody. Like you don't rip people out. You're not like a scammer.
Yeah, no. He doesn't change. We're like for the like when he gets drunk, he's not like a different person, you know. Like
Or
he's
like-
just himself, which
Like
is
I
good.
never see you flexing, and you could easily be one of the biggest flexers like, in this county.
Yeah, most
Wow,
most
I don't think
ripped,
so,
most
but thank
veiny,
you. That's not true.
Do you
smartest.
have a pool in your backyard?
No,
Think-
Tyler.
oh,
Tyler
Tyler.
Chemmins does.
Oh, okay.
He like lives 2 doors down.
Dude, how is Tyler doing?
Dude, he's good. I would go on like random little probably streaks of like a few days and then not see him for a month or 2. But he's doing good. He was playing baseball at Chico, doing really good pitching, and then when the COVID hit, I think he came home for a little bit. I think he was working for David Cry for what do they do? Is he he's like I know he's a operator, heavy
Yeah.
machinery operator. They do like construction.
They do a
like-
lot of excavation, kind of
Yeah.
like big earth moving stuff.
So I'm
He has
pretty
a bunch of
sure
trucks.
I might be wrong on this. This is embarrassing if it is, but I'm pretty sure David Cry did a lot of the reconstruction of the road up north for like Big Sur during that like landslide that like took out a lot of the road. I'm pretty sure he was part of it where like they were hauling rocks.
Wasn't a grantee part of that too?
Yeah, I think they were supplying. I don't know if it was the Granny Rock pit or what it was.
I just see his trucks going up to the Negrani Rock pit all the time.
Yeah.
David Cry and the Grantee, and then somebody else. My granny, sorry.
So he's doing good. He's doing good. You should get him on here.
That'd be funny, and I'm
Nah,
down. And you could do that better than I could.
I'll see what
You're friends with him. I only like know of him.
Yeah, I don't get to see him a lot too much, but I mean he lives 2 doors down.
You're friends with that whole other side of the like friend group, or not a friend group, but like
He's a baseball player. He's got all those.
yeah.
Well, I also was
there
like childhood
like-
friends with him.
Yeah.
We all grew up together once I moved.
And the Cayucas kids.
Like you're friends.
Carter's friends with
like-
everybody, though.
Yeah.
Not
that's
everyone.
true.
I'm not friends with everyone. There's a lot of people I don't
Okay.
know.
Okay, you don't know them, but everybody you know you're
I'm,
friends
I'm
with.
sure there's people that don't like me. But they're probably not,
I don't know
not
about
saying
that.
anything.
It's funny, Carter, because you've totally had some like laser nights where like you kick with laser and like
Yeah.
like
With laser nights.
I don't think I've had laser nights.
you haven't had like full force laser nights.
If you know what a laser
He
night
hasn't had, like,
is,
a
you
laser
haven't hung
crew
around with a
night,
laser.
no.
So
You came over and kicked it with me and whoever the fuck else I was with, like multiple
Yeah.
occasions. Like that's happened before. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, that's fun.
Like you know what I mean? Like you and I respect that about you because you don't like you will sometimes like fucking like come through and kick it with me.
Do you know why? It's because your house is always near a fast food place, so I can always. Just
Dude,
kidding.
you are the fast food guru.
Not too much anymore. I used to. I stopped. I definitely did.
Okay.
No, I used to. Yeah.
Okay.
I had a. So I'll say it because it's kind of funny. So I've had a colonoscopy. Is that funny?
Damn.
It's coming
Yeah.
out. It's gonna be the
Okay.
title of the YouTube.
No, it's
How'd that
funny. How'd it go?
Yeah.
Just as you would imagine it. No,
Did you
so
wake up and
pleasurable.
You felt like something was like inside of you?
no.
Like you felt like your insides were like a little less.
It was your butthole like sore at all, or like a little loosey goosey?
Dude,
No,
you,
I'll give you the quick
you
rundown.
put your finger in your butthole afterwards.
What?
No, I did not. I swear by
Oh,
life. I did
that
not
would be
do
weird. No. He just got one. He doesn't
Now
need
people are
another
getting
finger up there.
A colonoscopy is when they use the tube with the flashlight and you're
They
unconscious.
have the camera.
You're unconscious.
Well, it depends. So like,
You don't have to
sometimes they can be.
It could be local anesthetic.
You could be
Well, you're
awake.
unconscious under a look.
So like my dad told me about it when he had to get him. It's like he'll be like watching the screen, and like
Oh, fuck
it'll be like a
that.
live feed from
Wait, your
from
dad was watching the screen?
No.
Oh, sorry.
No, okay, no one was
I
in
didn't hear
there. I'm talking about when my dad had his. He told me that he was
okay.
awake and he was watching the screen with the thing was going up his
I don't know
butt.
if that's better or worse.
It's worse because
No, it's-
I'll- when I
When you
explain
see it
mine,
enter, that would be worse.
I'll explain.
You see him-
I'll tell you mine. Mine's good. Do you want the whole spill out really quickly?
Yeah.
All right, so
Talk about your colonoscopy.
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 Okay, so I'd say, fuck, I already forgot what year it was. I think it was summer. I think it was summer going into junior year. Yeah, okay, so it was right before summer started. So like my very end of sophomore year, and I was eating a bunch of hot Cheetos. Kind of like it wasn't like a bad diet, but like if you knew me, like I'd slap down like a few cheeseburgers from fast food places, but I'd like have a salad once in a while. Anyways, it was good. I went to go poo one time, and I like noticed that there was blood.
Pee or poop? You said poop?
Blood.
Yeah, you said poo. I
Okay.
pooped.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I pooped. And I was dropping a dookie, and I went to wipe, and I noticed there was some blood, and I was like, okay, like,
The hot Cheetos.
that's what I thought. I was like, maybe it's just like the food coloring or the red dye. I was like, all right. So I didn't think much of it. And that was at school. And then like a week later, I had it again, like before finals. And I was like, maybe it's just from the hot Cheetos again. So I wasn't concerned. Went home for the beginning of summer, and then I wiped, and this time it was like a decent amount. So before they were like little trickles, or not trickles, but like maybe like a square centimeter. So this one when I came back was like the size of like $50. I was like, fuck.
Are you talking
Like,
about
this
on the
is-
toilet paper? when
Yeah.
you're wiping?
Yeah, because like I like
Was there shit mixed with the blood or was it primarily blood?
Damn, I don't look at the
actually
toilet
it was a
paper
ghost
that much.
shit. A ghost shit.
What's
where-
a ghost shit?
It just like disappears without trace, right?
Or
Or did
I
you
was-
not poop at all? You just thought you pooped.
That's not pooping. No, a ghost poop, I was told, they are wrong. A ghost poop is when you poop and you don't have to wipe. So you can wipe, but nothing's on there.
Those are the best.
I never
some
trust
of those.
those. I'd still wipe.
Well, of
I don't know
course,
why.
I do a
I
secondary
wipe-
check.
You wipe and then there's nothing on the toilet.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Apparently, it's like when you have enough fiber. I don't know if that's true though. But anyways, went to wipe and it was like the blood was like the size of a $50, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like I need to probably get this checked out. So I tell my mom, and she's like, "Oh my god, like you should get this checked out." So she's like,
she's like, bend over,
she's like, dude. You sick fuck. So she's like, I'm like, go call your pediatrician. And I was like, all right. So like, I'm like 20 years old, gonna go see my pediatrician, and you're supposed to
Tedford
like,
or what?
yeah,
No way.
that's
That's awesome.
Shout out to that place. That place is sick.
Tedford's
So,
awesome.
anyways, you're only supposed to be. I think you can only be. They tried to get you out when you turn 18, but you know,
I was there so
I was
much
still
longer.
there until I was 20. And this lady was like, yeah, for sure, like.
Come on in.
We'll schedule you for in the morning tomorrow. I was like, awesome. So I show up the next day, and my dad's like, you know what's gonna happen, right? And I was like, no. He's like, they're gonna have to do like an inspection. I was like, okay. He's like, they're gonna have to like feel inside your butthole. And I was like, you just flinched, Lazer. It's just as bad as you think. So she's like, my dad's like, yeah, like I don't worry, it won't be like a colonoscopy, but don't be surprised if some like person has to like put their finger up your ass. And I was like, no, like this is the first time I'm going. If anything, they'll just like look at it and be like, oh, we might need like a secondary like, checkup in like a week. So I go over. It's so embarrassing. I go there. And they have like this intern or some girl that's learning, and she's like taking what's it called?
I haven't heard this.
Taking my vitals.
Was she hot?
No, she was super cool.
Okay.
But so, yeah, I don't want a hot nurse checking my vitals. No, I'm just kidding.
That's the worst.
So, she's like, "Oh, like, what are you in here? What are you in here for?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, funny story. Like, I'm bleeding out my butthole right now." And she's like, looks at me like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get someone really quickly," and then like, come back and like, "Yeah, like, she said you have problems defecating," and I was like, "Yeah, like I'm having some blood every time," and she's like, "Oh, okay." It's like, "Well, I don't know, like, what else other than you can tell me?" And I was like, "Well, do you need to do like an inspection or anything?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, we'll probably have to do that." She's like asking like, how much
So
blood
you're
I need to tell her.
initiating all of this.
Well, because I don't want to have to come back. And also, like, I'm kind of scared now. It's not the first time I've been pooping blood for a little bit.
Yeah.
By the way, I'd like look after I poo, I'd look in the water, and I could see like very faint trace amounts, and it wasn't like the whole like inside of the toilet bowl, you know, like full of blood. That would have been bad. But there's just like small trace amounts, and like I was like, okay. So, anyways, fast forward back. She's like, "So I'm gonna do like just a visual look, and then we'll see if we need to do anything else." So she's like, "Why don't you go ahead and I'm gonna give you a gown and you go ahead and put it on." So I was like, "Okay." And so I like go put on. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna have you to take off like all your clothes." I was like, "All my clothes?" She's like, "All my clothes." I was like, "Okay." And so this lady is like a 70-year-old lady, super sweet,
So-
nice. Yeah, she's older, very sweet woman. But what? So what?
She's probably seen a butthole or two in her day.
Obviously.
Not when there's a man with a stash in her
She's,
pediatrician's office.
Like a nurse.
She's going, these kids getting big. Were you 14? Sorry, finish.
So you put the gown on.
You put the gown on.
I put the gown on, and I'm like, oh fuck! It only covers like the first half of your body, and it just leaves your whole back and like ass cheeks exposed.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, oh my goodness. And she's like, so go ahead and take a seat. So I take a seat on like the like leather, you know how it's like that pink leather, or other places different colors, but it's like this like tall pink leather bench.
With
Kinda
the paper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I go to sit on it. It's just like straight ass cheeks and like ball sack slaps down on it. I was like, it's cold. I'm like, oh fuck.
Ouch.
And she's like, so like basically like standard procedure, I'm gonna look at it. And I was like, okay. She's like, so go ahead and like face the wall. So I like face the wall, and she's like, go ahead and like lift up a leg. And she like lifts up the leg, and I'm just like, this is so fucking weird. She's like, so I don't see any visual like problems, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to do another test. And I was like, oh. And she's like, so just hold on 1 second. And she like, has a little roller chair, and she like, slides back, and I like look over my shoulder, and she goes over to this drawer, and she like goes in, like pulls out K&Y lube. I just see K&Y. I'm like, fuck. And she's like puts it on the little tray, and she like gets her little gloves and does the exact like snapping sound like anyone does the joke like time for your prostate exam or like your test. And I was like, fuck. So she comes back, she's like, so this is gonna feel a little bit weird. And I'm just like shaking at this point. You know how like those rooms are always cold too, and I'm just like, fuck. She's like, go ahead and face the wall, and you're gonna not feel a slight pinch, but it's gonna be like a little uncomfortable. And like she slid it. Oh my gosh. So I wasn't looking, I couldn't tell, but it felt like there was more than one finger. First time I've ever had this happen to my butthole, so it's just not I didn't know what to expect. And she wedges it in there, and I'm like, it immediately like flex. I'm like, and then she doesn't stop there. She goes in like this, and she comes around, and I can't tell this actually happening, but this is what it felt like. Like a long ass like 3 seconds of her like going in like a 12 3 6 9 like on a clock, kind of like all four corners, and then pulls out, and I'm just like shaking like, oh my gosh, I feel like a piece of trash getting like thrown away. And she's like, so I don't feel anything wrong, but what we're gonna do is have you get your clothes back on, and we're gonna give you some little test strips, some little smear things, so we'll explain how to do it later. And so she like lets me put my clothes back on. I'm like still shaking, it's cold. I'm like, dude, I just feel like I got violated. And it was uncomfortable. So that was the worst part of this whole entire thing. So anyways, they gave me these little test strips, and they're like, so I think it was one for each day, 3 days total. And so basically what I had to do is every time I go poo, I have a little like, almost like a matchstick, like a thin piece of wood that they give you. And it's like not strong, it's really flexible, which kind of sucks. Anyways, I'm like I had to go poo, and like after I tried to like, fish out a little smear sample, but like not everyone has floaters, right? So I'm like, I poo, and my poo will sometimes just like sink to the bottom. Like, oh my gosh.
He's like,
so yeah, so I'm like trying to like fish this bad boy out without touching the water. The little sticks are only like that long.
Wait,
so
this is at the hospital?
No, this
Or
is
at your house?
this is at my house.
They send you home with the test kit.
Yeah. And so for like the next 3 days, each day I'd have to like do a little test sample.
3 days?
It's either 3 days, or if it was like a morning, afternoon, night, or like an afternoon, night, morning.
You had to do 3 tests.
I had to do 3 little smear tests. So basically, It took a long time. I had to like fish my shit out, which is fucking gross. But I wouldn't touch it. I'd have to use this little flimsy ass piece of wood, get it, and I'd try to smear it onto these little like paper samples, and then seal that, Ziploc it. And then once I had all 3, then I went back and I gave it to them, and then they ran tests because they had to see if there was like traces of blood deeper in my colon, because there might have been like blood in my stool from when it was like further deeper inside. So I get the test back and they come out positive, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good. That means
Positive
that
for what? Blood?
traces of blood deeper in my colon. And they're like, okay, we're gonna have to send you to a gastroenterologist. I'm like, oh, sick. So I go to a gastroenterologist in Templeton, and I'm like waiting there, and like my dad's like laughing, like, oh, you're gonna have to get a colonoscopy probably. And I'm like, no, I won't.
What's it called when the blood's not visible? It's like concave or concave or something?
I'm internal.
No.
I don't know. I don't know.
I was thinking of a definition of like when you can't see the blood, but it's in your shit or some shit. It's like hidden blood, and it's like. I'll Google it after this.
Okay.
I think it starts with
Sneaky
an O.
blood. Oh, okay. Tell me about that. That's weird. I like to use that vocab later. So, anyways.
Well, you guys are vocab people too, so.
Oh, I'm not a vocab person.
I'm not much of a
I
vocab
learn new words
person
every day.
But we're both like biology majors, so sometimes we'll like throw out words every once in a while.
Oh yeah, Seth will use some words. He's like, "What's central dogma?" And I'll be like, "Oh yeah."
No, it's you. I'm a biology major 4 years. And I'm like, I don't even know what the mitochondria does. Just kidding. That's the one thing I do know.
You learn so much that you forget sometimes the basics.
Just pushes
but
the
if you
rest
review
out.
it, then you're like, "Oh my gosh, yeah, I know."
Yeah.
That. Anyways, fast
Sorry,
forward. No, you're good. Where was that? Oh yeah, so the gastroenterologist. So I go there, and my dad's like saying, "Oh yeah, you're gonna have to get a colonoscopy probably," and I was like, "No way!" Like, they'll like my case, I can't be that serious. So I go in, and the doctor's like, "Oh, like ask me questions like, how old are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like 20." And he's like, "Oh, you're pretty young." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, What are you doing here?" And I was like, "Well, I sent in those little sample strips, and they tested positive for each of those 3." And he's like, "Oh, okay. Like, did they have?" He's like reading the report from the nurse that like did my like test, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like didn't seem to be anything wrong, but you know, I don't want to take any chances because someone like as young as you are, like we wouldn't want to see any problems with your colon that would like potentially like lead to like bad problems." Anyways, like pretty much she doesn't want to see anything that would lead to like colon cancer because it's not a good cancer to have. And he's like, "What we're gonna do is have you go have the colonoscopy." And I was like, fuck. So he like scheduled this colonoscopy for me, and my dad's like waiting in the waiting room. He's like, and I'm like, "Yeah, I have to have a colonoscopy." He's like, and so he's like telling me on the ride back, he's like, "Yeah, like I'm awake. Like whenever I had to get him, like I'd have to be awake, and like the doctor would be behind me, and like I would just see like the inside of like my colon on this camera," and I'm just like, fuck.
It's kind of sick.
This is gonna be weird. So anyways, they gave me Moby Prep, or like I think it was a prescription for Moby Prep. Yeah, I had to get a prescription for Moby Prep. I went to my pharmacy, and I gave them the prescription, and they like looked at it, and they're like, "Is this for you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's for me." And they're like, "Okay, hold on 1 second." And they also gave me Moby Prep, and I think it's magnesium citrate. So basically, they're like, take some of this magnesium citrate, and it just like, yeah, it pretty much just makes you shit britches. You shit your britches like super, super quick. So I'm like constantly on the toilet pooping, and then
they just want you empty so that you can see.
And then I take the Moby Prep, and the Moby Prep's gnarly. So basically, I forgot what it was, like when you can't, but like I know for at least for like a few days before, you definitely can't have any like foods, and especially anything with red dyes. So a lot of times you'll be able to eat like gummy bears or like Jello. Is that spider? It's kind of fast.
That's crazy.
So like things like, I think fruit roll-ups, pretty much anything like
Got a lot of dye.
Yeah, but you just can't have any red food dye because you don't want to like mistake it for blood. And so this Moby prep is pretty fucking gnarly. So it takes like really like hot seawater or like warm seawater, and you'll be like drinking it, and you drink, I forgot what it was. There was like 4 stages that you have to drink every 15 minutes. You have to finish this like full bottle, probably the size of this. But you finish like a whole size within like an hour. You do like 15 minutes, and then another 30 after 45 and 16, you'll be done. And you have to take it consecutively, and you can't skip. You can't do anything like I'll just drink like 30, or I'll drink like both halves after 30 minutes. You have to take like strict regimen. So it's a shit show. So basically, when you have that, it's just running through your body so quick that like any slight like fart or like any like movement can just release this, and you'll just be like spilling this out your butt. So when I was on the toilet, it was literally felt like someone was like shooting a hose out my butthole, like a hose.
Ugh.
And I was like, you have no control. You can't like close it. There's
stop
no
it.
stopping it. It's literally just shooting out.
Is it just like water just shooting
Well,
out?
at first it's like definitely murky because like it's cleaning everything out. But by like the second bottle, it's like crystal clear. Like it looks like.
You drink it.
And you're doing this at home.
Okay.
You have to
I
make
would
that.
Would you shit, or would you do it and then filter it through a Brita and then drink it?
Lazer, I would never do that if I had the choice not to. There's no reason why I would do that.
For $2,000, would you?
No, that's
Drinking your own
2,000.
crap for 2,000.
For one cup,
I wouldn't even
A
drink.
full cup?
I wouldn't even drink like
like a
Greek
pint,
water
like a
for
pint
$2,000.
glass.
No,
Okay, what about $8,000?
no.
Okay.
You gotta be able to put like a down payment on a house.
What about? Are you serious, dude? I would do this shit for like cheap.
Lazer, we can't all
Nah.
be you. You're a different breed. You're a different breed.
You wouldn't drink your filtered fecal matter through a Brita that's already like.
Britas don't filter that well, dude.
Brita does good.
There are
back
good
here.
filters that I would do it through, but not a Brita.
Like,
I wouldn't drink my pee through.
I would
Brita,
drink my
dude.
I would drink my pee without a Brita way before I would drink fucking fecal water, regardless of
Okay,
how
I'm
cleansing
saying
it
that
is.
the crystal clear fecal water
Brita-
you're talking about. You wouldn't do that for like $8,000.
It's not crystal clear, but it's pretty damn clear. It's
close to
$8,000?
it.
No.
It's like drinking creek water, like downstream from where someone had been like
if
shitting
something
diarrhea.
if something goes wrong, $8,000 is not gonna cover it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
medical
I gotta
expenses
start
need to be
thinking of
covered.
like
And I'm
Even-
glad you
even
said
if
that, 'cause
long-term
that
medical
ties into my
expenses
next question.
need to be covered.
That ties into my next question.
yeah,
But
I need to be able to like make something off of it after like I spent $100,000.
Profit
100
and
grand
an entire new body.
But yeah, I'll try to wrap it up quick. So long story short, pretty much I think I've said that already. Taking the Moby prep, and then I think it's like for the last 12 hours right before your procedure, you can't have any water, which for me I was like, oh.
really good.
Like knowing when you can't have water, you'll get like just thirsty, your throat will get dry.
Dude, Carter just walking around his house like this.
Well, dude, most of the time I was
dude.
sitting on the toilet, I would just watch YouTube videos because the second I would leave, I'd have to go. So I just ended up sitting on my toilet. But
Might as well sleep on it.
yeah, so
Some of those plush covers.
if I had like brought a little table over and I could like put my head down like in a desk, kind of, like have a
It's not called,
massage,
just a dream.
the massage pillow or whatever. It's like a U or like a horseshoe shape.
Just put your face on it.
and you just like knock out. I'd honestly probably have to have like a seatbelt strap though, because like if I like move during my sleep and I start going and shoot
I
it
get
on the
comfortable
wall.
on the toilet. I like lean up against this one drawer though, and I always get this gnarly like line on my forehead from just like leaning on it.
I feel that.
My
Really
science
plan
teacher
on
in
that.
middle school told us to like raise your arms above your head
Yeah, it
and it'll
helps with
help
the
like
flushing, yeah.
straighten out. And which I
Well, it's like
still don't
squatty
understand.
potties that people use.
Yeah, and I was like,
I don't like them though.
I mean, I try it once in a while. I do some like stretches, some little aerobics, but it seems to delay the procedure even longer. So we'll see. Maybe it works for some people. But anyways, I ended up going to the gastroenterologist, and I have like my appointment scheduled or my procedure scheduled for like really early. I think it was either like 5:45 or 6 a.m. And I get there, and the lady, I'm like the first one there, so everyone's like still getting the work or like setting everything up, and I go ahead and like put this gown on, and I put the gown on, and once again it's like only covering the front half. I'm like, oh, here we go again. So I walk in, I'm like, am I supposed to go over here? Because I just see all these like female nurses like walking, getting stuff right now. Yeah, come on through. So I'm like walking through my little butt, is like walking like exposed. I'm like, oh my gosh, I bet these like, I hope none of these women are like looking at like, why is this young guy here? Like, so I go around this corner, I sit on this bed, and I'm like shaking because it's obviously, you know, it's really cold. It's cold in those rooms, and I'm like shaking. I'm also nervous. So I'm like tensed up like this. And I'm not trying to like fucking shaking, but I just am. And they're like, oh my gosh, like he's panicking or he's cold. So they get these hot towels and just throw it on my crotch, and I'm like still shaking. But they like did the procedure, and they're like, don't worry, like you won't be awake. And I was like, oh thank goodness, because this whole time I thought I was gonna be awake. So they ended up knocking me out, and I woke up, and like it's all over. And I was like,
nice IV or what?
yeah, I got good IV.
What was wrong with you?
Well, it turns out that I had like an anal fissure. So it's like an anal fissure is like, it's like a tear. It's like tear towards like typically found like towards the exit, so near like the rectum and anus. And so what was happening was like my poos. Yeah, I know. I got that fucking joke a lot. Anyways, my poos were like tearing, and they kept on re-tearing that thing, so it wouldn't seal close.
Brutal.
Yeah, and so like I was like, basically that's like totally fine. Like that's a good thing to have.
An anal fissure?
Yeah, like you
Those
those
are
will
other
heal.
things that could have been.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
better
So
than cancer.
Did you get it healed up?
yeah, so he's like, basically this is something you just gotta let heal on your own. Definitely like have more or
Softer stool or what?
yeah, he was like advising like, what's your diet? Maybe change it up a little bit.
Less BK.
Yeah.
Is that why we stopped eating BK so much?
Definitely
we used to
one of the
munch
reasons.
that.
Yeah. I ate
Dude, we
healthy
used to
with
be at his shop.
Dude,
That
yeah, the
was
one
on
near the
the
post
corner.
office. That
that. No,
one?
but after that one.
No,
the
after-
one.
Oh, the other one.
The one
Near
near
stoplight.
the hotel
after
that
high
has
school.
art.
The
The
stop-
masterpiece
near
hotel.
near the cotton ball.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
near
yeah.
stoplight. Yeah, we're all thinking the same house.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we aren't. You were thinking about the
You
one
were
that was
thinking
by the
about
post
the
office.
post office.
That's
No,
in
but
the
then I
fire
said near the
department.
stoplight. The stoplight's right there. You go right up the stoplight's
Okay.
right.
Okay.
That's a different house. Okay.
Anyways,
Anyways,
whatever.
no, yeah, but I used to. We did
You
that.
guys
Way too
used
much.
to play Mafia and then go cruise and then like come back.
We would cruise to Rite Aid and go to their dollar section and like
Well,
get
because
like
they were
random
open 24/7.
back then.
Wait,
They had
BK, what's your
no
Rite Aid.
Rite
We would get like the noodles and stuff, or you would get like the noodles.
I would get like the top ramen, and then
Yeah,
I
I'd
get
get
like
the mac and
I
cheese,
get like
like,
spam,
ones.
and then put it in the top
Spam?
ramen. Yeah,
You did that
really
once.
low
I remember
sodium.
that.
You're
What?
kinda
I remember
naughty,
you
bro.
getting spam once. That was
Spam
interesting.
with top ramen is actually really good. It's not a, you'd like it.
I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like you definitely would.
I don't know. Spam's interesting. It cooked is fine, but
You don't like spam?
I've never eaten it not cooked.
Oh, why? I cooked it.
Oh,
Did I
okay.
cook it?
I
Maybe I
hope you
didn't.
cooked it, but I don't know.
But I probably actually didn't
It's
because
like
it came in little
tuna,
plastic
tuna's
packs.
bomb.
It was like the single
Just
packs.
like
It wasn't canned. That's okay.
Okay.
All right.
You guys.
But yeah, it heals. I mean, actually, like recently, like a week ago, I reopened
Your hole?
my fissure.
Usually because of your
Wait, are you
blood.
serious?
Yeah, it's not bad. It was just like some small trace amounts of blood. And I was
So
like,
this is like an ongoing problem.
it was like 2 years since, but it's not bad anymore. Like I'm good now. It's been a few days, but a week ago it came back.
So
I
you
just had a
change up your
friend.
diet or what?
I had a friend from school that knew about it, and she sent me this like meme about anal fissures, like something about like only the or like someone was talking about them, and like only the elite know like what an
gosh.
anal fissure is, and like had them.
It's funny.
I was like, oh yeah, that's me.
Probably because you've been crossing people over in basketball or
Too hard, dude.
I haven't played basketball
Breaking
in a
so
long
many
time.
ankles.
I haven't played in a long
Dude,
time.
that's funny. I think if my butthole had been bleeding in college, like it bled, but more because like the toilet paper at my college was so rough, and the
Oh, yeah,
cafeteria
the-
made me poop literally like 4 times a day, and I'm just like,
Oh.
it was like there was a point when my butthole was like raw from the toilet paper. It was like single ply. It felt like you're just taking paper towels and just like rubbing.
Most people when they go to college and they have like the calf food or whatever,
Yeah, the cafeterias. You gotta
If the
adjust.
school makes it like that food, they'll have like the shit, so they'll like poop more often, or it'll be like
Yeah.
not normal poos, because of I don't know. For
It's
ours,
just
it was
the
kind
type
of
of
oily.
Yeah,
A lot of
very
people eat
greasy.
pizza
Everything's
and it was just
greasy.
like super oily.
Were you on campus for 4 years in the dorms?
Besides one semester, yeah, I ended up being on campus. I was in an apartment senior year. In junior year, first semester, I was off campus because I didn't have like housing really. So I just,
Was it cheaper to live on campus?
um,
Or you just wanted to?
I think it kind of depends. Like you definitely could have made it cheaper to live off campus if you lived in like some places that were farther away and you like budgeted a lot of stuff. But by the time you buy your own food and you buy like you're paying for laundry and utilities and stuff, it's pretty equal. But I don't know. It was just nice. It was easier for me because I stayed in the library a lot. When it was either like the library class or I don't know, going out and doing stuff. But I don't know. It was just kind of nicer for me. But living off campus was nice. That semester I stayed with some family friends and it was free, so I guess that was cheaper. But that wasn't like long term.
So what made you pull the trigger and say, hey, I want to live on campus?
First 2 years were mandatory. You had to be on campus.
First 2 years are mandatory?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Unless you're a commuter. Freshman, sophomore year, you're on campus. Junior year, I didn't want to go back to college actually, so I kind of, I decided to go back to college like a week before school started.
What made you almost quit or not?
I wasn't really into it. I just kind of felt like I wish I would have waited, gone to like Quest. I kind of felt it out more. Sophomore year was just kind of hard. Like school-wise, definitely hard. It's kind of like you get wrecked.
Sophomores,
with, like,
I don't know how it is for
organic
schools,
chemistry, calculus, like all these big.
Typically, you have like what Seth said, like you have the OChem classes,
Yeah.
but like what really finds way too is like I think you have like your first, like at least for the second semester in my school, we had genetics, which was like the first introductory like upper division. Yeah. And so instead of like just having like bio classes where you like have a bunch of lectures and you like are tested based off like pretty much memorizing or being able to like interpret questions, like where like instead of saying like the house is red, it said like a red house. I know that's not a good example, but like it's just like rewording it or rephrasing it so where even if you memorize the slides, you'll like pick up on it and you'll be able to know what the answer is. So as long as you just memorize slides, you'll be fine. But this was like the first time where it's like more you're given a situation and like, you have to know like the main like topics and like understand pretty much everything you've learned to try to like answer some question that doesn't really correlate with the specific information given.
Yeah. So like, yeah, no, definitely. It's just kind of sophomore year is when you hit your upper divisions, you kind of get the feel for like what you're actually going to go through the next 3 years. And like he said, it's like there's different types of learning, different levels, and you kind of start to get a taste of like the application level of where there's basic knowledge, there's like understanding, and then there's like application. In application, sometimes your test questions they're asking questions that you need to apply something you learned from the beginning to the end, and like they need to come together. Like you need to know everything, which is a really great way of learning. You end up learning everything really well, but
yeah,
it was just tougher. Freshman year, I had sleep deprivation. I ended up like dropping a couple of classes and not doing well. I got a horrible GPA that just like dragged me down all 4 years.
Why weren't you going to bed?
Well, I was sleeping, but only like 3 or 4 hours a night.
Why?
And because I was getting up at like 6 a.m. to study. I was going to bed 1 or 2 a.m. Like,
Dude,
so I guess like
you
5
can't
or
do
4
that.
hours. Well, I learned my lesson, but I was also, that's when I started to work out because I stopped playing soccer. And I was like, oh, I need to do something. My roommate started getting me to work out with him. I was like, this is fun. And they started giving me pre-workout. I was like, oh, this is really fun.
Dude.
But we were taking pre-workout, like full scoops at like 9 or 10 p.m. at night. And then I'm going to bed a few hours later and thinking that I'm like getting, I don't know, I feel like in high school you didn't need a lot of sleep, but I wasn't under as much stress. And I wasn't hitting like deep REM cycles because I was still like pumped up on caffeine and beta-alanine and all these like different stimulants.
Yeah,
and
I feel go ahead.
Oh, yeah, so then I got sleep deprivation. It was just kind of like a weird couple of years of like academic, just kind of like I didn't feel like I was smart enough to be there, honestly. And I was kind of like, I'd always wanted to join the military, and I was like, I think this is the time, and I'll come back to college. So
snap.
I was gonna join, and then I decided not to.
You are joining the military, right?
Yeah. But what were you gonna say? We'll get to that, I'm sure. Right?
Yeah, we're here right now, buddy. Wait.
Yeah.
So what made you?
Sorry.
No, this is good.
Dude, holy fuck, Seth! I heard about this through the grapevine.
Through the grapevine. Who'd you hear from?
Who'd you?
I don't know. I really don't know. But you saying that
It's been a long time coming, I feel like, but it's finally actually like here. So.
Did you want to do something with helicopters?
Kinda, hopefully. I don't want to fly them. I mean, that'd be kind of cool actually. But yeah, I have like a contract for a job that would be really cool. But you
Are
have,
you
you have to
going
make it.
into the military like right
Yeah,
now?
I've already sworn in.
Huh?
I've already sworn in.
Already.
Wait, so you're telling me you are in the fucking military?
Well, I mean, I haven't like actually done anything, but I've committed. Basically, is all I've done. It's like signing a contract.
damn, bro.
But you raise your right hand and you repeat after. They know it too. It's not an insult.
Oh, okay. Well, I've had a
but
friend
like-
that takes some business classes. He's a bio major, and he said there's some that are like.
Some of them, like I
They
know
said
when
they
they start
curve-
doing like math and stuff, like that kind of sucks.
And I'm
wouldn't
sure
want
it
to do
differs
stats,
too,
but-
in like obviously the classes and like your
Yeah.
school. My friend took it and he like didn't do that hot. He's pretty smart, but they curve super nice. So he
Yeah,
like
they do curve,
he was
yeah.
like the top of the meet,
Yeah.
and he got I forgot his overall grade was like a B minus, and then on the final he got like a D plus. But everyone did like most people did
Everyone did
worse.
horrible, yeah.
So he
It's
ended up
like,
getting
okay.
got like a I forgot what it was, like a 95.
Yeah.
Then bumped his grade up.
Yeah.
I got something to say, damn it.
Sorry.
Dude, literate. What do you?
I got one
What's up?
question for you. You have to answer it with yes or no. Then I'm gonna hit Seth with more military stuff, and then I'm coming back to you. Ready
Alright.
for your question?
Wait, if I say yes or no, can I explain why yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
No,
I'll explain.
no, you don't get to
Oh,
do
okay,
that.
okay, go ahead, go
Then
for
it
it.
goes back to Seth,
And then you can explain it out.
Yeah!
It's got to just soak the whole time.
Go for it. Go.
I'm excited.
Did you fall in love when you were in San Francisco?
No.
Okay.
It's way too easy.
Wait, what made
Bullshit.
what made you join the military? What made you swear in? Like why?
The officer telling me to.
Dude, I bet you they finessed the fuck out of you.
No, I was pretty prepared. I don't really think they finessed me, which is good. I didn't like sign some contract like swearing away my life to be a cook or anything, but
Cause normally.
not yet. What made me join or what?
Like, cause you just got your bachelor's degree,
Yeah.
but you were on a route to become a doctor, from what I knew.
Yeah, no, I mean,
You were taking
I was on that
military,
route for a long time. And honestly, a big thing with the doctor is like the medical field. Obviously, it's enticing, like money wise, like being set up for life, like that'd be sweet. But the main thing was like I really wanted to help people, and medically was always like that's a huge thing. I was like, that's like a hands-on thing where you know you're helping people and you're like saving a life. But you can really help anybody in any situation you're in. I mean, heck, we're both manual laborers and you can help people. Like you can be nice, you can change people's view on life. Like you can help people. But I realized I didn't need to go to med school right away to be helping people. And I had always just wanted to like serve in the military. And it's kind of up to finding a job that I really felt passionate about. And I found one and then kind of decided to just pull the trigger on it.
What's gonna be your role in the military?
Well, I mean, I can't really say that I have a role because you have to earn it. I'd like to do this job. It's called pararescue. It's in the Air Force Special Operations.
Fuck.
Yeah, and so I have a contract to basically try out for it. And it's not like I have any commitment. I'm not saying I am one of them at all. It's just that I have a contract that says I'm going to go through basic training, and then I'll go to special warfare prep, and then I'll go to basically assessment selection. If I make it through all those things. And
Well, I'm sure you'll make it, if not
thanks.
the top person, Mr.
Thanks,
Top
man.
Gun.
He's going to
With
tag.
his steel shirt on, bro. Dude, Seth literally walks in with a fucking headband on, dog.
Didn't you say that you can't wear anything except for the stuff that they give you, right?
Yeah, I think so. At least in basic, I'm pretty sure it's all year, because you don't really have much a weekend from what I've been told and stuff.
No.
So yeah, I don't plan on bringing any clothing. I think I think everything you bring to basic, I think everything you bring there you put in a box and ship it home. I don't think you really keep anything. Maybe a couple keepsakes, but yeah.
Dude, you're like
Interesting.
damn fine in a uniform, so.
Thanks, bro. I hope so.
You're them, like,
Need to
damn
find a
good.
wife somehow, bro.
Fuck.
Dude, that's to be. Dude, your parents must be so proud of you.
Yeah. I think so. I had a good talk with my mom actually today a little bit, because I know my mom and my little sister were they didn't want me to join. Definitely just nervous for me, for my
Okay.
safety, which makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't blame them, but I think she's finally at the point where she knows it's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to serve in America's military and give back, and I think she realizes that, so she's finally supportive of it.
Damn, bro.
So
I mean, dude, and at the same time, it's your life to live, bro.
Exactly.
You got one chance, one opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I know if I don't do it, if I don't try, I'm gonna regret it.
Yeah.
For sure. Like, I mean, that was like, I tried. I mean, Keelan Rare was a big influence on like living life to its fullest, like trying every opportunity.
Shout out to Keelan Rare.
Shout out to Keelan.
Yeah, senior year. I mean, him and I, we talked about before the senior year. We were talking about just like we wanted to live it up. We knew it was just gonna fly by, and we just decided to like say yes to like everything we can, and like have as little amount of regrets as possible. And
dude,
it was great. And that was, yeah, he's a wise man.
Keelan really has been a very influential person on like, everybody.
Has he been on here yet?
Sure.
He needs to be on here.
Keelan's been on here.
Okay, good.
Keelan and Daniel.
No,
dude, I miss Keelan.
Yeah.
I haven't been kicking with him. I know I need to, and I know it's gonna happen very soon. But like, I miss that fool. Like going to his house, like.
Yeah, dude. Only kid in high school that would wake up at 5 a.m. to read a book before school. Like, only kid I ever knew that did that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the type of grind I still want to be on. I'm not even on that grind yet.
Dude, Keelan, you guys, we individuals, like we would go to his house and like he would just like show us this different realm of things that like we've never seen before.
Oh, him and his family are so nice too.
Yeah, so hospitable.
Always
Tammy.
Also,
Tammy was so hospitable if Keelan.
Such good food too.
Yeah. Cooked so well. Oh my gosh, good stuff.
Wait, was it
fun times?
Was it us three that like did that date for Keelan? Or we went
Were
on
you
the
there?
cliffs?
I remember it was you and I. I think Lazer was one of them.
I think you were there because
you remember
we went to see The Conjuring.
Yeah, that's good.
It was us three. Oh my god.
Dude, we crushed that. That was sick.
That was super funny.
We did it around two, me and Hunter.
You guys down the helicopter pad, right? Or was that for someone else?
Oh, there might have been.
I did it for somebody at Point.
Keelan does this, bro.
He does. He knows how to get them. I did it once at Point Loma for one of my buddies. I kind of like just set it up. Not as big as Keelan's was, obviously, but it was fun. It was a great idea.
When Tammy walked into the house,
we're like, shoot. No, that was me. Where I was like, get out.
Oh,
she was like candle path, man. She helped light them, I think, because they were like, we were like, oh frick, we're trying to hurry, and then she's like, what are all these for?
We were just like, Keelan's returning.
You gotta get out of here.
She's like, oh my god, I won't be in the house. It's like, okay.
Frick, what were you talking about?
Influential.
Oh
people.
yeah, well yeah, like joining the military, like I would have regretted it, I think, if I hadn't.
If you didn't join?
If I hadn't joined, yeah, because I was actually in backgrounds for police down in San Diego. I wanted to join law enforcement, and I just I had just gotten surgery, so military was out of the option for a few months, and I was just doing that to like stay busy, and I realized I was gonna like, I would have always thought about joining it, and I would have always been like, I wish I would have joined, so. That's kind of why I ended up doing it. I kind of tried to expedite the process so I can start as soon as possible. And
for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes of it. I'm excited to like get pushed physically to like my breaking point. We'll see where. Hopefully, I can pass the
5
things.
squats with 135 seems to do the trick.
Brutal. Good thing weightlifting isn't.
But I mean, you're leaving soon.
Yeah, November.
And you're gone for like indefinitely?
Indefinitely, yeah. Like I don't really want to. Sophie keeps asking like when I'm gonna be back, and I can't really tell her because I don't know. I don't want to be like, oh, I'll be back in a few months after training, but I realistically could probably be like a year more.
So this is gonna be the last time I see you, unless you.
I'll try to see you again before I leave.
What was living in San Francisco like?
Can you ask like specific questions like
where do you live?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, fine. It was fun. I mean, similar weather around here, so like usually falls around like low to mid 60s throughout the day. Summertime might get a little bit hotter, a little bit more rainfall once in a while, but for the most part, it's pretty similar.
Did you meet people Did you meet some best friends there? Like, are you best friends with some people?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of close friends. I think for a lot of people too, as like Seth kind of pointed out, and like a lot of people relate, you have like specific friends that you meet at school, and those will be your best friends or your close friends. And you might have like, oh, I have a certain friends that like I always study with. We always have the same classes together, so you have like that close friend group. Then you have some like, oh, the people that always go out and like will go to the bars or something like that. The more like the party crew. Then you have friends with them. Then you have people that are like, the people that play like rec basketball or like intramurals or like people that you meet through sports, and you have friends with them, and then you have like other just nice people that you meet over, you know, the time of the course.
You won in basketball, right? Didn't you end up winning?
Oh, we did this. Well, okay, so intramurals. Oh my gosh, our co-ed team got fucking clapped. But it was super fun. No, but we won. So one of the sororities at my school throws this like basketball tournament, and you can like create like you can just make a team with whoever you want. And it's super funny because they're like, yeah, we'll have like referees and like all this, and it just ends up being some like sorority girls that like don't know basketball. And so like you can just pretty much just like street ball, like you can like foul people and they won't call it because they don't know, like they're like, oh, I don't know if they'll be like timid, like I don't know if that was a foul or not. But we lost our first time we played sophomore year. We lost the championship game, and like the winning team got like gift certificates to Cheesecake Factory. So we're like, fuck. So next year we like got like a really OP team going. So we like got all these like international kids that are like some Australian guy that was like 6'8", 6'9", like a tall dude that can like slam, and like a few other guys that were really good. It was so fun. I was on that team. It's just like a little reserve. So like anytime someone was like a little bit tired, I'd just go in, and like it was super nice just like watching your team just like shred through. So we won the championship, and this time we won like a ticket for, I think it was like the sorority's homecoming, where like you won like a date.
Yeah,
never got that.
never got the date? What the hell?
Wait, so you got a date with a sorority girl?
Yeah, they would like just
she
like
didn't pull through.
You can pretty you could like you got some little like ticket that says like, oh, like you have gotten permission
just choose
to go.
a girl, just line up.
But yeah, they like apparently were supposed to like find someone for you. Never got a text or email, so I was like, that's okay. Well, I mean, like I wasn't like,
knock on the door.
I was super excited.
My date.
No, yeah. It was fine though. Winning was super fun though. So
it was fun, yeah. Dude, intramurals were fun. I enjoyed those just because be able to like play competitively again. There were a few intramurals I didn't like, but soccer, balled out on soccer. That was fun.
Yeah. There's always like in basketball, because I always played on co-ed, because co-ed's like way less like.
Well, yeah.
Like it's just more fun because everyone's like there to just have fun. There's always there's always an OP team.
Yeah.
That's just like a bunch of dudes from like the men's basketball teams, or like not the men's basketball team, but like the people that are in intramurals for just men's basketball. People that are like going in and grinding, and you just get slapped like 54-10.
Yeah, co-ed makes it more fun for sure. Like it brings the like intensity down a little bit sometimes, not always.
Not always, but usually.
It just like makes it more like you don't get pissed, and like you're not like freaking hopefully like cussing people out.
It's actually a really good way of meeting new people too, because pretty much
met some cool people.
Like if you are like having a hard time.
You get too?
My ex last time I played.
You probably got slapped.
Probably
on the face and in the game.
So
No.
Definitely slapping someone else.
No.
So you're probably picking cheek.
No.
Probably showed up to
it was messed up. It was like my friend group's team. And he was like, oh yeah, we got Annie. I was like, oh, that's cool. Because the team I was on was like we were pretty good. We won every year, but
something like OP.
A little OP is probably stupid, but no, I didn't want to be on their team, and then ended up grabbing her. I was like, oh, that's cool. It's chill.
But yeah, if you're trying to find friends that are like outside of your major, intramurals is definitely a good way for you to branch out and meet like a variety of people.
Yeah.
That's how I met a lot of
colleges, at least from what I've seen, it's like the colleges I've visited and been to. I mean, the one I went to, it's like they do a good job of like giving you opportunities to meet people. But you really have to like kind of make the effort. I remember like freshman, there's like NSO. It's kind of like WOW Week where it's like new student orientation, and I don't know. There's definitely a lot of cheesiness to it. Like you'd be like running down these like crowds of like tunnels of people and all this stuff. But it's like you just kind of you gotta like have fun with it and just live it up. Like meet new people. Like do cheesy things, because if you don't, you're just gonna be on the side, kind of like
you just make
this is stupid. Like
you'll look like a goof, but like you'll be thankful you did it. That's kind of like how
I met so many cool people that like that first week of college we stayed up like all night just like hanging, like going to random dorms, just meeting people, like playing games. Played spike ball so much.
I mean, I was that guy that like was like, oh, I don't really want to do that. It's kind of embarrassing, or like I don't want to do that. And then everyone's like, you should do it, and like I do some of them, but not all of them. And then by like senior year, I was like just doing anything that I could. Like doesn't even matter if it's embarrassing.
Just making absolute fools of myself senior year. That was senior year was good for that.
That ended up being the best like move, because everyone's like you just meet more people and like
I was part of like something called like the hooligans. We were basically paid to go to sporting games and just like get rowdy and like talk trash and stuff. And
You got paid?
I got paid pretty well, but
What?
yeah. Well, I ended up being like my buddy's, one of my good friends. He was like in charge. He was like school spirit director, and I was his assistant second semester. But it was fun, like, because the NSO came, and we were basically, everyone else is like telling people where to go and like handing them like hats and all these things, and we're just out there like getting wild. It's like 8 a.m. We're just like, yeah. It was fun. We got all these parents to play these like corn toss games with us, and we were like competing against parents, and it was fun. Like all these parents, it definitely took the edge off, and it was just, we met so many really cool people.
Damn.
Got a lot of them to apply to work with us. It was cool.
Fuck. My school spirit at my school was like rough until I think when I was a senior, there was like a shit ton of freshmen that came in when I was a senior, and like it was actually really good because like a lot of people were actually going to like the sporting events. And our basketball, I mean, like they came to a lot of like the other sports sometimes, but basketball is always kind of feel like the big one that most people go to
In
because
the gym. It's
the basketball team's always been like, I think for the most part, I feel bad if I'm wrong, but they've always been the most consistent with like being up in the league, like in the league standings. And so we're like in D1. We play Gonzaga, and like we're in the West Coast Conference.
Oh, really?
So we get this. Yeah. Sometimes you'll see like BYU or some like other teams that like usually have appearances in like March Madness. So it was really cool going to there, and then actually like senior year, you see all like the whole like stands actually filled with people, and like you actually run out. Or they would run out of like free t-shirts like the first like 100 people. Usually you could just show up like an hour later and still get a shirt. But it's literally the first like 10 people. I mean, not the 10 people, the first like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah,
And it's like,
It was like similar with us. Our junior year, our team got second in the nation as D2. So
For
it's
what?
basketball. So they went, but we held, what's it called? Is it like Elite 8? No, what's the, before that? We held something
Sweet
for like West
16,
Coast.
Elite
Yeah,
8.
something like Sweet 16, but we held that at our school. And it was fun because that was like one of the first times like sporting events, like it was just packed. Like we had our whole student side of the stadium, and it was fun. It was cool. Like, yeah, school spirit was at like all-time high. It was fun. Yeah, that was kind of like, we kind of missed out on that. Like Morro Bay was super mellow and chill, but like senior year, like volleyball was fun. We got rowdy there.
I think it's the same thing as like when you're
Like-
freshman, you kind of like don't want to say anything, but by the time you're a senior, you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna like get rowdy.
You don't
and
care
it's
about like
super
looking
fun.
cool anymore. You're just like, let's have fun.
Yeah,
It's
and it just makes it
Yeah.
more.
It's way more
entertaining.
fun,
It's
yeah.
fun, yeah.
Sports were fun. Yeah, it's like harder at like a kind of like a D2 school or I don't know, just if you're not like, if the sport's not competitive, it's kind of harder. I mean, we would give out like burritos and stuff for certain games, but
Yeah, my school.
rugby got a lot.
Well, yeah. You played rugby.
we got like one home game a year. That was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
You
but-
played rugby.
Mhm.
How the fuck did that work?
Dude, it was fun.
Did you
It's
truck
confusing.
people?
Yeah, it's fun.
Dude, rugby is dangerous.
That's why I did the trucking people is what makes it fun. That's why I enjoyed it.
Really?
Well, I finally had like some
You
size. I
ever
mean,
score?
you know what?
Did you ever score?
Yeah, I led the league in points.
The league?
Mhm.
Shut
or
the
like
fuck
D2.
up.
It was D2, like
What?
West Coast or whatever. But
What schools did play rugby around there?
every school basically plays rugby. You just don't really hear about it that much. It's not very politicized.
What was... Okay, so you're gonna have to back everybody up really fast. What was going on? Like, when did you start playing rugby?
When
You gained weight.
yeah.
Was it your sophomore year or freshman year?
So freshman year, I again kind of when same thing where I was like, if I don't try playing soccer for the school, I would have regretted it. And so I went out and I trained with the team for the whole spring semester basically, and it was fun. But the coach ended up buying like 11 new players, which is his entire squad. And not-
11?
Yeah, not wanting me, which makes sense because he just bought 11 new players. But
Are they like all Samoan guys? Or just like
no, this is soccer.
different breed? No.
Well, yeah, they're different breed, but this is soccer. No, they're all foreign. Basically,
Yeah.
a lot of them are foreign.
What do you mean the coach bought 11?
Well, he gave them scholarships, so he's paying money for them. He's not gonna want to pay me because he's not paying for me. So, yeah, that's kind of the way that coach was. He only played you if he paid for you. So it just didn't work out, and it was definitely for the best because I had more time to like live up life and study, which I needed to do. But basically, after that kind of fell through, sophomore year, I started gaining a lot of weight. That's probably when I gained like 60 pounds.
60 pounds?
Something like that.
What was your max
Maybe
weight?
a little bit, like 205. But that was like, half a year ago. That wasn't very long ago.
What do you know?
185. I dropped because I've been having to run and swim for this job I'm hoping to get. So
Damn.
I'll probably drop another 5 pounds before I ship out. I'm sure they're gonna make me drop weight through exercise. But yeah, after soccer fell through and I started gaining weight and hitting the gym, I was like, I want to do sports again. And one of my buddies and I were trying to do rugby, but it was a little bit late in the season, so I ended up starting junior year.
Rugby. You played for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. Super fun. I really loved it. I wish I would have played all 4 years, but I didn't really think about it. And
You ever get hit in the fucking dome?
oh yeah, all the time. I got kicked in the head, head-to-head contact. You get it all, but you wear a mouth guard. So.
You wear a helmet?
No.
Dude.
That's, I mean, that's all you have is a...
Have you ever watched
Yeah, have you watched rugby? It's
I
gnarly.
watched a game of rugby, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
Shout out Taj.
Yeah.
Okay,
There's
so-
these things called scrum caps, and you like put them on as a soft cap, but it does nothing for concussions. It's all about when you're in a scrum, and basically people are like pressing up against your ear, so you don't get cauliflower ear, like messed up ears.
You kind of have
and stuff like
cauliflower
that.
here a little bit.
Dude, really? I was never on a scrum.
No.
I shouldn't have had it.
He doesn't have.
I mean, I was in rucks and stuff,
Whoa.
but like the scrum was one of the huge guys, which was not me. The forwards, they meet together, and they're basically it's 8 guys against 8 guys just pushing, and it's a very intense moment. I've been in them because I've like had to sub in when there's somebody injured and they like get in the scrum. I'm like, all right. But it's gnarly, dude.
So
There's
you-
so much force. There's a video of like the French national team, I think, or Italian, and they're basically like pushing back this Formula One race car. It's like peeling out, and they're just like pushing it back because there's so much power between them. It's like 8 big guys can get a lot of power between them. It's very intense.
You were the lead scorer in your D2 league.
Yeah.
How many touchdowns do you have?
Well, they're called tries. I probably only had like 8.
That's the lead scorer.
Well, I was the kicker, so I got a lot of points in kicking. So like after you score a try, then you get a chance to kick for 2 points after that. So if a try is 5 points, then you kick for conversion. That's 2 points. And I had a pretty good success rate. I think I only missed like 1 or 2 all season long.
So you scored 8
but-
tries.
Probably about that. I don't know. I don't really want to look up the stats. But then basically you can have penalty kicks, and those are whenever there's like a penalty. Certain penalties you have the option to like choose between kicking it out and getting the ball there, like having a scrum, tapping and going, or kicking for points. And basically anywhere on the opposite half, probably like 10 yards in, because I'm not that great of a kicker, we would kick for points. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. The kicking was fun just because soccer, I got to kind of use like a little bit of skill again. And then tries were a lot of fun. I don't know, never got really any good highlights, so it's all up here. So my kids will think I'm making everything up when I tell them stories of me, but it's fun, dude. Yeah, like trucking somebody is definitely, it made you feel alive. Especially when there's like nothing between you. There's no pads or anything. It's, I don't know, I mean, your shirts get ripped and stuff. You're like basically skin to skin, just hitting people. Tackling was brutal. When you're sitting there, like someone's running full speed at you, like wanting to hit you, and you're like, I have to stop them. Like that sucks. But sometimes it's fun too. Like sometimes if they're smaller, then you can just kind of level them. You can just be like a brick wall, or so I like to like pick them up and basically run them to the sideline and then just like dump them and land on top of them, and it's your ball. Then their teammates would get pissed and there's fights and stuff, but there are fouls, yeah.
Can you stiff arm to the face?
Oh yeah, that's fun too.
When
When someone's trying to like catch up to you or tackle you, even when they're tackling you in front of you, you can like, you're not allowed. Like, it has to be like open hand, and I'm pretty sure.
So
It really
the
depends
ref-
on the ref. The ref has a lot of like control over how the game moves. There are certain rules that like aren't even really set in stone. It's up to the ref how he wants to play it.
This is like an unspoken of game, because you have things
It's a-
like the football where people are trying to ban it for like
Yeah.
full body armor and like the whole thing with concussions.
Yeah, well, they don't tackle as safely.
They don't in football?
No, not at all. They just go like head first in. In rugby, you have to tackle below the shoulders, and you have
can't do the
to
legs.
wrap. You can below the shoulders. You can't tackle neck and above. And honestly, some refs would get pissed if you tackled this high. They want you like chest and below.
So do you wrap them up?
You're supposed to at least attempt to like wrap them. So when you're hitting, say
You wear a fucking cup, Seth.
no, Dude, you get grabbed. You'll be like in this like rug. There's just a pile of guys like fighting, and you just get somebody like someone will grab your dick. Sometimes when you tackle, you like accidentally grab their junk, and you're like, "Oh, sorry, bro." And they're like shocked, but it's fine.
Dude, you guys thought I'm crazy for like drinking the fucking fecal water for like $8,000. You guys couldn't pay me to play rugby.
No, I think you'd like it. You try it, you would like it.
Well, I like games like that, but like I just don't want to get fucking cracked in the fucking face by someone else's crumb.
One of my,
you know, I wouldn't either.
I mean, nobody wants to. But,
you still want to play rugby? I
don't know.
Rugby.
It's like definitely very rough. I feel very blessed to not have any major injuries. Like I mean, I have like scars. There's like I have a lot of scars, but I never had like internal like a lot of teammates that unfortunately like tore their like ACL, MCL, or meniscus. One of our best games, we played UCSD down in San Diego, and it was dumping rain. It was so much fun. It was raining the morning of, so we postponed it, and that dried up, and we were warming up, and literally the moment the sir, who's the ref, he blew his whistle, it is like someone drawing a shower. Like, you couldn't see the other side of the field. And they were they're the number 1 ranked team in our league, in our area, and we were number 3 at that point, but we hopped to number 1 after that game because we just like went out. They didn't want to be there, and our team was just hungry, and it was so much. We scored so many tries, and we were just like slapping these kids around the field. It was so much fun. First half, second half was like we were holding on to the lead.
Were you one of the smaller kids?
I was pretty middle of the road. We had a kid who's animal. He's a great rugby player, but he was like up to my chest and very light. But he runs like a rabbit. He was so quick. And then there's guys that are way 3 times my weight, and they're massive.
Because I feel like 205, like, okay, 205 speaking right now, that's big. But 205
it's the average, yeah, it's big.
205 in, like, sports shit, like, I would say, like, 240 is big.
240, yeah. No, definitely. Like
260.
200 pounds is, like, you're almost big. You might be able to, like, tackle the big guys and, like, kind of on the verge. There were guys that were way smaller than me, and they played forward, like, where you're supposed to be, like, the big, but that's just because maybe they couldn't like run as fast, or they were just better in the scrums or talented in those positions. But it was fun. I mean, I played on an all-star team. I got like the opportunity to go play for like the Southern California division. Those guys were, dude, scary. It's just funny. Like we were never the biggest team. We'd had like 1 or 2 like big guys that we could just like roll through crowds of guys, but like we were always just like, we had heart, and we like played to like the last minute, which was cool, which I liked better than just having like a really big team, you know? Like I don't know. But when I played on the all-star team, those guys were crazy. That's when you get to like the big Samoans and like guys that weigh 50 pounds more than me and could just destroy my ankles and like probably sprint faster than me.
Super shifty.
Super shifty. Like there's this one kid.
Their legs are huge.
Legs, dude. Their calves look like bigger than my thighs, and their thighs are like my torso.
Yeah.
It's just, and they run as quick as you do, and it's just like, it's just crazy because you're like about to tackle them, and if you don't have more than one guy, you're not gonna get it.
They're like grizzly bears.
Yeah, they're
like
wild.
Fucking human bears.
It was a lot of fun playing for that team. I didn't play super great. I think I kicked for a couple points and was a part of some tackles, but it was a lot of fun. That team was super impressive. The forwards on that team were crazy. Our guy, one of our best players, his name was Ricky. He ended up being our coach later, like this year, but he was a big guy. He's probably 6'2", 6'3", like 280, just like big boy. And he played rugby his whole life, and he was always like the biggest guy on the team. And then we went to this team, he played with him too, like we both went. And he after the first practice, he like looked at me, he's like, I'm the smallest one out there, like I'm the lightest one. Because like in rugby, you throw guys up in the air to get a ball sometimes. And he was like, I'm a jumper. Like those are the guys the lightest ones that you throw up. And he's never done it his like whole life. And he was shook. He's like, dude, I'm jumping. So he was just one of the smallest guys, and they're all.
Why were you even there if you weren't even competitive?
What do you mean? No, he was a great player. He's one of the best players on the team. I was a good player. Like I'm not the greatest on the team, but I don't know.
You got invited to the All-Star game being 205.
Back then I was more like 195. Okay. I don't know. I mean, I played a position that you don't need to be super big. No guys in my position weren't as big. Okay. I was average for my position probably, and then.
What's your position?
I played this thing called, there's centers and then there's like a fly half, and the fly half is like the quarterback basically. He calls the plays and he makes everything happen. I got to play a little bit of that this last year, which was fun. There's a lot of pressure, but there's this other kid on my team, Nick. He's super talented. He's way better than me at that position. So as much as I don't like to admit
ball,
it,
dude.
it's a big ball, yeah. And then I played inside center, which I loved. Inside center was a lot of fun because you're the first back, so you're like talent players is basically what the backs are. You're like the first ones. You got to be one of the bigger ones, but that's you basically just hit. You just like grab the ball and you pass it or you run and hit people. And I probably should have passed more, but I loved hitting people. It was fun. It was wild. I don't know. I wish I could have kept playing. But.
I'll stick to one-hand touch.
Flag football? Liz, I feel like you should have played football one year. I
feel like you would have.
At least in like when you were younger.
That was like senior year when like Wes and like a lot of guys like tried it. You know? Yeah. I feel like Lazer would have. He played basketball though. Freshman year.
So sick.
Sophomore year. Okay, sophomore year. Yeah. We saw your practice jersey.
Yeah, that shit was fun.
It was fun.
If football wasn't. Honestly, if I knew the water polo season was going to go the way it did senior year, I would have played football.
I would have never even touched the water if I knew how that was going to go. I think Carter should have played football. He was a jock. He was a baseball player.
No.
I played a football player.
Played when I was in like 6th and 7th grade.
You did Pee-wee? Or whatever it's called?
Pee-wee?
Or was Pee-wee little? Or I don't know.
When I was there, it was Bantams, juniors, intermediate.
I'm sorry.
Seniors.
All right.
6th grade I was junior, and then 7th grade I was intermediate. 6th grade I was good. It was like my first year. I was like fast, and then I was able to play quarterback for a little bit. It was sick. Did well, and then when I was in intermediate and 7th grade, I was like definitely on the younger side because it was like people. I was like with I think it was like Noah and Elijah Garcia, Tyler Richmond, Elijah Soley was on. We were like wide receivers together. And then there was like a mix of people that were like our age too. Evan Weisberg was on my team in 6th grade.
Oh,
yeah.
It's wiry.
He was trash. That shit.
OG.
No, it was fun. And then I like 7th grade when I was intermediate, I was like, I wasn't as good as I was the year before, and I was like, I'll probably just take a break. And so in 8th grade, I didn't play, and then freshman year of high school, I wanted to do it again because I had some friends that were in it, and then my mom. Or at that time, during that break, my brother popped his shoulder out of place playing football. And then also during that time in basketball, I got a concussion. And so my parents were like, yeah, we're not going to let you play that anymore. Yeah. Because the doctor was like, if you hit your head again like the way you did, you're probably going to become a vegetable. My parents did not like hearing that. So
he's just scaring you.
Yeah. So basically they were just like, yeah. And I was like, can I do anything? Can I just be out there and like play a position that like doesn't do shit? And she's like, no.
It was like my family, we weren't allowed to play. I think Joel kicked. They allowed him to be a kicker, but Isaac definitely wasn't allowed to play, and they knew I wasn't going to play. I was too small.
Dude, Joel played football.
Yeah, he was a kicker. And then I think he tried to be like something on special teams, but my parents were pissed and didn't want him to do that. But he was a good kicker. But yeah. I feel bad. Isaac was definitely like, he was the first kid, so there's privileges to being the first kid, and then there are also downsides to it. Like your parents are their first kid, they don't know, but he didn't really get allowed to play very physical sports. Even in college, he tried to play rugby, and my parents didn't want him to play rugby. He was also like the smart, brainy one, and they didn't want him ruining his brain. They didn't care about this one. They're like, whatever, do what you want.
How old is Isaac?
26.
No, he's 27.
Only 27?
Yeah, he's 5 years older than me, and he just turned on the 21st.
He's 5 years older than you?
Yeah, and then Joel is 3 years older, and or Joel's almost 25. Yeah, almost 25. I know.
5 years older than Sophie?
11. 11, 12 for most of the year, but not like a full 12.
Dude, I remember, did I know you when Sophie was born?
Like, she was like 2 years old when you knew her. So like that's what everyone like knows Sophie, because she was like always like brought around my mom. My mom was all our stuff, so.
She was in the car seat when we did the lifeguarding thing.
Yeah, that was funny.
Freshman.
That was good stuff, yeah. So she's kind of been through it. So everyone kind of like remembers her, but they're like, I don't remember like what age she was, and she's 10 now.
Dude, your mom's probably so happy that she had a little girl.
Oh yeah, dude, we're all stoked. She's just the sweetest thing in the world. Yeah, I mean, my mom loved having boys. She was stoked from like the 3 boys. But yeah, I think it's cool. Yeah, I love her. She's awesome. We're all stoked that she's here for sure. It was a shock when we all found out what was gonna happen, but wouldn't want it any other way. For sure.
So there's a lot of people around you getting married right now. Where do you see yourself in that? Because you have Ryan who just got married.
Ryan got married.
And you have Levi
got married. Isaac got married. It's probably gonna slow down for a little bit because those were like the 3 that had like serious girlfriends.
Dude, that's fucking crazy. Where's Ryan and Levi right now?
Ryan is, I believe he's in Tahoe. We don't talk as much, which is a bummer. But I believe he's in Tahoe with his wife, Kira. Which is funny, she's actually one of like family friends like that I grew up with, but he didn't really know her until like 3 years ago or something. But they're in Tahoe. They're running like a kids camp or school or something. I don't really know. And then Levi's in Morro Bay, but he's moving to San Diego so they can be near his wife's family. She's pregnant.
No.
Yeah, Levi's gonna be a dad
way,
soon.
Bro.
And then he's gonna be doing roofing for Tesla actually, which is super cool.
For Tesla?
Yeah, like solar panel roofing, and which is neat. He's always on roofing. It's a hard labor job, but he'll probably make good money. I'm assuming. Yeah, it's a tough ass job.
Tesla.
And then Isaac is on his honeymoon. Kind of, it's like a very long extended honeymoon. It's like honeymoon and trip because he's working virtually for his engineering company, so he can just do it from his van.
Well, it's kind of hard.
Yeah,
He's probably liking COVID right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's probably enjoying life with his brand new wife out there. I think he's in Wyoming right now, so just traveling the country.
Do you think anyone's gonna get divorced?
I hope not. Just leave it at that. I hope not.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Dude, the thing, you 2 are 2 people that could just like, what just happened where like I don't see you for like 10 months to like a year and a half.
We show up and we're married.
Yeah,
yeah, no, exactly.
Dude, I'd
Seth maybe. Dude, no way.
Oh yeah, hopefully not. I feel like everyone joins the military and gets married, but I'm not planning on that.
You're wifey material, Carter.
Dude, he's an absolute catch. Once he finally finds a girl that he like wants to be with, it's over. Because every girl wants to be with him. Once they get to know him.
Yeah.
False.
Dude, the thing, I can see you literally right now, bro, with like pink fuzzy slippers on and like a fire like somewhere in the house going on, and you're just like cooking.
Just post it up. He's got the robe watching Sunday football.
No.
Carter's gonna be such a good husband.
Football is not on.
No.
Football is not on. It's Desperate Housewives.
Desperate Housewives.
And Carter is cooking. And you have a hot fucking wife.
I mean, that sounds kind of nice though.
And you just have
legit. That's legit.
If I was like a stay-at-home dad.
You have like the craziest like.
Stay-at-home dad would be the goal, dude. It'd be sick. Kidding me? Having a wife that brings in that kind of dough.
Dude, my wife's like cooking up bank.
We were talking about Carter getting married. Not probably. Dude, I would always want to be a dad, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Like, fuck, I don't think I'm gonna get married anytime soon. So.
Who out of like our friend group, like, and you know what I mean when I say
Who's gonna get married?
Like,
I've always thought it was gonna be like a wild card. Like I always thought like OG I could see. But I always thought something wild like Taj or
I could see. Yeah.
I didn't think Orion. I don't feel like Orion's like marriage type right now. I've like there was sometimes I've thought of you. I was like he could go off to Oregon and like
settle down with
randomly.
You guys
but
gonna be one of the last.
That's
I could also see that, but
no, I think he'll fall in the middle of the pack.
Middle?
Yeah, I'm saying maybe Vince. I don't know. Who do you think?
Dude, I haven't talked with Vince, so I don't know.
I mean, I would have said me, but I don't really think so.
Dude,
Seth, I
interrupting.
see you in the front half for sure. Definitely in the front half.
I'd like to start living.
You're like top 3.
But
if you weren't going into the military, I would say front half. But now you threw me such a big side ball. Like now you're like in the back.
Nah, he'll find someone in Texas. Some like 6'4" blonde girl.
Dude, Hunter's about to get wifed the fuck up right now, bro.
Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot about him. Yeah, he totally would be the type to get married like that.
Really? He's watching this right now.
He's probably laughing.
That's a good
No.
thing. He's a lovable man. He's a creature.
Hunter,
Yeah.
if you're out there, we love you.
Hunter's deep in it right now. I think.
That's funny. So is that kid.
Evan's deep in it, Hunter's deep in it.
Yeah. That's funny.
I could see, actually.
We were both
I
deep
could
in it at one
I
point,
could
but-
see Keelan. I can see Keelan getting there.
Keelan. I feel like Keelan's
Yeah.
either the
Keelan
type to like
would be
never
the
get
wild
married
card.
or to get married.
Keelan would be
right
the wild
away.
card,
Yeah.
and it would be like,
Joe's front pack.
Dude, Joe's gonna find a dime of a wife. I just know it.
Yeah.
Ever since I've known Joe,
Joe's
I just
gonna
know that he's gonna find
She's
like
gonna
a
be
supermodel.
athletic.
He's super
Yeah.
athletic. and
Joe's gonna be like the guy that we haven't seen for a little bit, maybe like 2 or 3 years, and then comes back like, oh, by the way, I want to introduce to you. Like,
yeah, he's gonna
my
roll up in
fiancé
like
or
a
something.
Benz and like with some really hot wife.
Yeah.
Cause he's gonna be super. He's just the driven type. He's gonna be super successful, which is cool. Cause that's like what he wants.
He's
That's
gonna be good at
awesome.
selecting.
Yeah.
And he's
I feel
gonna
like he's
find
gonna be
amazing
really
wife.
good.
Well, like that's the nice thing is like not the nice thing, but like he's definitely like choosy. Like he's picky. He's gonna find someone that he really likes,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, he's smart.
So he could definitely be up in San Fran, find some wife, not tell us, just get married and come back.
Dude, you better
I want to be invited to
Someone
everyone's
that I
weddings. I want to go watch all this stuff happen.
watch from afar.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I could see Bobby being middle of the pack.
I don't know. So I've thought about this one.
He's
I don't
interesting.
know.
He's interesting.
He's a dynamic character.
Mark's from
Pardon
the
me?
pack.
Mark
For sure. Yeah, Mark has a girlfriend, right?
Yeah.
I haven't talked to him. Well, like we catch up on like Snapchat text like once every couple months, but I haven't talked to him about it yet.
I see Mark towards the front.
I see you towards the front.
Yeah, I could see.
I don't
that.
think that.
You said you saw me towards the front?
No, I said middle.
Oh, middle.
Middle.
Yeah,
Taj towards the front.
I can see Taj towards the front. Let's see.
Yeah.
Orion's back half.
Ryan's probably last.
Good
I-
card though.
Dude, I bet you Julian is
Front.
No.
I think
Really?
Julian is right out of med school. He's gonna graduate med school, and that day he's gonna
what's-
get married.
Yeah,
Whatever. He's
Within
doing.
that year.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's waiting until he's financially stable, which is like what I want to do. But I think he's waiting until he's done with school, and then he's just gonna pull the trigger and
Dude,
Instantly, dude,
I could
instantly.
see- I think it's gonna be back half type shit.
he's gonna find some chick. And it's like, oh, he has a white coat.
Well, he might be
He's
back
gonna
half
find some
because
chick,
he's gonna
but-
be doing some schooling.
Yeah, school
But
takes a
once
while.
that schooling ends,
Oh, it's done. He's
only a
pulling the
matter
trigger.
of
Bro.
years.
He's gonna find some
Yeah.
babe and pull the trigger.
Okay. Something that pertains to everybody right now, and it's been on my chest a lot, and I'm at the point where like I'm not even gonna go into detail, but I'm working on something right now, and I'll totally send it over to you guys. It's a tangible thing when it's done.
Alright.
With that being said, speaking of two biology majors,
oh god, now we're getting quiz.
guys, why does it cost $200 just to go see a fucking doctor on like any given day? If you like have good insurance, shitty insurance, like why is it like I'll give you some recent examples. I like fucked up my toe probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought I broke it. I went to the doctor. It was like $500. And then,
You went
and I
to,
have
you went
good
to that
insurance.
doctor? Or
Did you get
No, I went
something
to the
fixed?
ER, bro, 'cause my fucking
Okay,
toe
ER
was
is
split open.
yeah. The ER will fuck you.
And then I had to go do some shit in Oregon. I had to get chest X-rays in Oregon, and I had to get this whole pulmonary test done.
Yeah.
And my lungs are actually fucked up. Like my lower lobes are like collapsing.
Yeah.
Not collapsing.
Dang.
but-
You good?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I for sure have asthma, and it's for sure super hard to breathe.
Damn.
So you're not
I'm sorry,
good.
dude.
Well, I'm here right now, so I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm swimming, so I'm gonna
Nice.
cardio the fuck back up.
Nice.
Good. Yeah, build those lungs up.
like,
Yeah.
I can feel it too. I can feel it. But with this all being said, here's my
Well-
plan. Here's my plan. Here's my controversial plan. Let's decrease the prices of all this medical being afraid. And I heard the best analogy. It was like, yeah, let's make it to where you don't wait 9 years because you're afraid to go get this itty bitty tumor checked out because it's gonna drain your pocketbook, and then next thing you know, 9 years later, it's fucking the size of a fucking newborn baby and you're on your deathbed. Like, let's prevent that from happening by reducing the price of any medical situation, whether it's a checkup, emergency, a question. Let's reduce all those prices by 90% to 95%. Let's not make it free, because it shouldn't be free. Like, I think you should have to go, like, instead of a copay of $50, how about just $5?
Yeah, I mean, copays.
I think that's reasonable. And you guys are like, one of the biggest argument is, dude, like fucking, you would have to increase the taxes so drastically to have that happen.
Not necessarily.
I'm saying let's keep the taxes where they are, if not lower them drastically, and that's a whole nother argument, but here's where the controversy comes in my opinion. I just think, dude, this whole system, like the whole government, everything that's going on right now, there's no way the taxes that America pays, there's no way that's all going to like the right hands. Like
it's gonna be tough to track.
I swear on my life right now, and I have no evidence,
for
I
sure.
have no proof that. Dude, I bet you 80% of like America's tax money that's supposed to be going towards tax related shit. Dude, it's being siphoned somewhere. People are just erasing numbers.
Well, there shouldn't be politicians getting rich while they're in office. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Why would somebody working in office, like, you get paid well, 6 figures, but why do they end up with millions of dollars by the end of their career?
Didn't Trump say, like, in paperwork that he was losing like hundreds of millions of dollars each year, and he paid $750 in tax?
Yeah, it's tax deductible.
Dude, if that's happening with that one guy, bro, there's millions of people where this is happening, and let's turn that like a couple hundred million. Let's turn that number. Let's turn that, like, I bet you we are losing trillions upon trillions upon trillions of dollars.
Oh, probably. I mean, you go super deep.
And that's why it should not cost that much money to go see a fucking doctor, bro. Are you fucking me right now?
What it is, basically, if you really want to like lower your prices, then what's happening is insurance companies. No, it's all about insurance companies, and then it goes to basically they are sponsored, like they sponsor like politicians for like those states and those countries, like the country. But like basically what happens is, I forget the name of it, but there's a book in every single like hospital, every type of company, and that has the pricing for every single like operation, visit, has every like down to your intubation tube, down to an IV bag. Like, it has the price of what it costs, and it varies from hospital to hospital. Basically what happens is, when you go to the hospital, you get an IV, it really only costs like the hospital like $1.50, but they're going to charge you $200 for an IV. And what it used to be that you would only get charged like maybe $3 because you need to pay the doctor. He got through school, and you need to pay the nurses, you need to pay the janitors, you need to pay taxes, like the hospital pays taxes too. But what happens is these insurance companies that they're paying for these things, they're like, hey, we want our cut. So basically they made deals with hospitals that were there like making all this fake money, like all these fake charges, so that the insurance companies get their half. Because they're like, why aren't we profiting from sending our patient to your hospital? So depending on your insurance, you're allowed to go to certain, like if you have OPOs or some other type of insurance, you're allowed to go, PPOs, OPO, you're allowed to go to certain hospitals, certain like groups. I'm very fortunate, we have a pretty good one, and like I can go to just about almost like any hospital, like any doctor to see, almost, not all, but basically these insurance companies are like, well, I'm sending you a patient and you're getting their money, like I want you to pay me for that. So then these doctors, these hospitals, they start charging more so that they can give the insurance company money. And which is stupid, because now these prices for these things that should be really cheap are now like doubled by like 400%. So like you could cut down costs if it weren't for these insurance companies.
400%, dude. It's like
a lot of them,
5,000%.
Well, a lot of them is you're getting charged $100 when it should be $1. But like that what starts with these is the insurance companies, and it's these politicians that are getting their money from insurance companies by making all these rules. If you can't like say that you can make it down to 95%, like maybe because these doctors still need to make money. I mean, what's the point of going to school for 12 years if you're going to get out and make $60,000 a year? You're going to be in $400,000 debt. Nobody's going to do that. Like, these doctors need to get paid for the work they're doing too.
I didn't. No, and I see what you're saying. It's just I didn't say that. I'm saying the doctors are still making like very good money for doing that very hard work, and I mean everybody on the like chain of command. Like, I still think like that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying. You know how you kind of were just like, dude, like Lazer, they shouldn't make 60 grand a year. Like you can't reduce it by 90%. I'm saying still reduce the prices by 90%, but the tax money that we're paying that's being siphoned out of our paychecks into like
so you're just saying whatever.
I'm saying the taxes that we're paying, dude, they're not going to that. Like they're going illegally somewhere else that we're not seeing. I say we need to we need to fix all that shit and make it to where like the doctors are still getting their big bucks, but we're also paying it significantly less. I'm saying
that just comes down to dirty government, which is like fix the. We would all love to fix the government. This two-party system sucks ass. I don't know many people that trust the government or like the government, and that. I mean, these kind of problems come down to that. If that's like how you want to think about it.
Why hasn't anybody woken up? Like is there?
I'm sure there are a lot of people.
A lot of people realize it. Like
people that are like.
If I went out and asked, if I went out and asked somebody like, do you trust the government? I guarantee they'd be like, no. And all these people are like, they're aware of that, but they're, I don't know, without like a big movement, like no big change is gonna happen because we all feel so like small when we're alone.
Well, dude, and it's so difficult to get a hold of these people too, Like I got fucked over for like some charges because I had to go to the doctor when I was up north. And I like, you can't just call somebody. It's a fucking robot, and then you click 1 through 9, so you're on the phone just hearing the options, and then it's like it's like, dude, like we need. There's so much shit that needs to get fixed with like the whole healthcare system. Like, dude, we're humans, man. Like, if we're here and we're like fucking created to be here, we really need to like be taken care of and taking care of each other. And starting with dude, my dad literally the other day, he's like, dude, like don't get fucking sick and don't have anything bad happen to you. Like, I'm changing my insurance right now. Like, we'd be fucked. And it's like, dude, like obviously, but like, what if I got hit by a fucking car? Like, it shouldn't cost 80 grand to go to the fucking. Okay, why an ambulance? Someone told me an ambulance ride.
Ambulance rides are brutal. Yeah.
Why is it? Okay, why is it?
It depends if you have insurance and then where you're at.
If you have insurance for ambulance rides.
Regardless.
How far the ride is.
It's
brutal. No, like honestly, if I had some life-threatening injury, I would still consider not calling an ambulance. I'd probably drive myself. People are Ubering to the hospital because they don't want to pay for an ambulance.
Why isn't it
it's a big problem.
Ride like $80?
It should be, and it is in certain countries. But
I feel like I don't know a lot about it, but I feel like one of the reasons no, I don't fucking know. One of the reasons I feel like maybe just because they want to deter people from like overusing or just thinking like, oh, they can use it whenever it's just a free ride.
It's not taxing.
So they use it as like a tactic for you to like only use it for emergency.
$10,000.
I'm not saying
we're not
should use
rationalizing the amount.
I'm just telling
you
potential reasons why they like that being more expensive.
It's interesting when people feel like comfortable to go in. Like when COVID hit and everyone's like, oh, the hospitals are swarming. There were certain hot spots where they were. Dude, most hospitals were dead. They're literally having to like let people go and stuff because people no longer felt like they should. I felt this weird like twinge. Like there are a lot of people that will go in like, oh, I felt something weird, and they'll go into the ER and they take up a bed. But when COVID hit, they didn't want to go in because they didn't want to get COVID, and like everything dropped. So like if ambulances didn't cost anything, say like there's certain countries where it probably doesn't even cost anything, there would be a lot of people out there that would be calling 911 asking for an ambulance with a full-fledged paramedic and an EMT just because they stubbed their toe. And
well, that might happen, but let me give you an analogy. Legalize all drugs, it would be shitty for like a few years, but then the outcome would be amazing. Same thing I'm saying right now with healthcare. It might be shitty and chaotic for a couple years, but the outcome's
it's such a strong move though that's scary if it doesn't work out because it's hard to go back.
Dude, bro,
I'm for it, dude. I agree.
We're not saying that they should cost.
I'm saying realistically, it's tough.
Like, dude, the grips on things that people have.
Oh, definitely, it's very scary, dude.
It's
like
crazy.
Sometimes I don't even like thinking about these things because you start to think about like George Soros. You start to think about these families that basically run the world in the central bank, and you don't even hear about them. Like you think about that kind of stuff, it's scary. You're like, like
a lot of people will just like live their lives not knowing anything.
Yeah,
I probably will
living your life and like
dude.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss, and a lot of people choose to live in ignorance because it's easier to live without knowing these horrible things. I mean, I remember as a kid, I used to like, you would close your eyes when you're playing hide and seek because you think that you're like, if you can't see it, nobody can see you. Like, I don't know. My dad was very good at making sure that we knew what was happening in the world, even if it kind of sucked. Like, even if it was kind of depressing as like an 8-year-old learning about all these horrible things. Like, he made it, like, I'm very appreciative for that now, where I'm very aware of what's going on, and sometimes it kind of sucks. Sometimes I just gotta like close my laptop and like stop looking at things. It's kind of like, dang, are we really gonna be able to like make a difference and change this world for the better? Because it seems like sometimes it's just like too far gone sometimes. I don't know.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say though, to like tie back on everything, is if the president is claiming and like getting away for probably his whole life all these like gnarly tax, and I'm like, and dude, it's definitely more people than the president. I bet you it's a billion people.
There's all politicians.
Billions of
Some of them
dollars
are dirty.
that have billions of dollars, and they're going, yeah, man, like just what Trump just did. He's like, yeah, like I had all these gnarly losses. I'm pretty much going bankrupt, and then they get away with like paying no taxes. Like if that's happening and that's proven. Dude, our taxes that are coming out of you guys' fucking paycheck, on my paycheck, I'm losing fucking 25% of my damn paycheck. Yeah. Dude, I bet you 5% of it, maybe 1% of it. I bet you that's going to like the community and like, dude, it's going into someone's fucking pocketbook.
Yeah. A lot of times it is.
It is.
Politicians.
Dude.
Or a lot of times if you like say if they like do like a tax increase, like do they actually need the money?
Dude, it's bullshit.
Well, we got 8% back on our paychecks.
All the people since I work in like utilities, a lot of like the county guys, like shit, and a lot of the county guys are getting like new trucks. Nice, like 2,500 like new nice like 4-door like trucks.
Yeah. Or they all have
and
like,
they're like say that they're like in like shortage of money. And you're like,
yeah, they all have like Ram 5500s. Like, did you need a 5500? Like, what?
And who knows, dude? What if like America's so populated and like what if with us paying 5% of our paycheck going to taxes, what if they were still able to afford the trucks? I'm just saying, like, we're losing so much money, dude. There's no way we know where the fuck it's going.
Definitely
there's no way, dude. It's going into someone's closet.
I mean, we
totally.
Yeah.
It definitely sucks. I mean, we got I think it was 8% back of our paychecks now. There's like a tax decrease of 8% from what it was. So we're getting more than we were, but it's definitely way too much. State tax, federal tax, it's stupid. So it's funny because then you're paying store tax. Like when you go to certain places, those people are paying taxes, and you're paying taxes, and it's pretty brutal. But
something weird's happening.
Taxation is theft.
Something weird has been happening for a while.
The medical side is weird, and especially because if you look at countries like Finland, you look at all those Scandinavian countries where like they have like free healthcare and all these things, and it's like working well, and that's why all these kids our age are like, oh, socialism works, and like it's very interesting because somebody has to pay for it. And I mean, their taxes are like 30%, like higher, like way higher than ours, like double of ours, probably like 40%. But also when you ask like where that money's coming from to pay for all those like social systems that are super cool. Like they have amazing systems, they're free college, free everything, like that's awesome. But someone's got to pay for it, and basically what it is like oil, like the Northern Atlantic, the fracking that goes on up there. They're making so much money, and that's how they can pay for these social systems. But if you think about it, it's like, is the left gonna want to make all this money off of fracking and off of like natural resources? Because like someone's got to pay it. But I get what you're saying, like money's going somewhere that we're not seeing, and it's all getting laundered somewhere. But
guaranteed.
Yeah. It's very interesting. It's evil, and it's kind of like.
I just thought I'd bring it up because this was on my head lately, and you guys are two like bio people. I don't know. So
STEM
I thought you were gonna ask us some like specific questions on like tissues or like,
tissues. Oh yeah, I was not about to be able to bust that up.
And like ATP and like how creatine works and stuff. I'm like, oh, thank goodness.
I drink a yerba mate, so I had to give a little tangent.
Oh,
guys, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, bro.
Let me get in this camera shot.
Good to see you. Oh yeah, you want to get between us?
Yeah.
All right.
I've been excited. This is the moment I've been waiting for.
Hell yeah.
Dude.
Alright guys, I love you guys.
Thank you, Lazer.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. No, really, anytime.